was occupied by Bhai Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, whose age was listed as 69 and who was taken on board bearing a complimentary ticket with food. The Jaladuta, under the command of Captain Arun Pandya, whose wife was also on board, left at 9 in the morning on Friday, August 13. In this diary, Bhaktivedanta Swami note, the cabin is quite comfortable, thanks to Lord Shri Krishna for enlightening Sumati Morarshi for all this arrangement. I am quite comfortable. But on the 14th, he reported seasickness, dizziness, vomiting, Bay of Bengal, heavy rain, more sickness. On the 19th, when the whip arrived at Colombo, Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, Bhaktivedanta Swami was able to get relief from the seasickness. The captain took him ashore and he traveled around Colombo by car. I didn't know that. When the ship went on towards Cochin on the west coast of India, Jamastami, the appearance day of Lord Krishna, fell on the 20th of August that year. Bhaktivedanta Swami took the opportunity to speak to the crew about the philosophy of Lord Krishna, and he distributed prasadam that he had cooked himself. August 21st was the 69th birthday, observed without a ceremony at sea. The same day, the ship arrived at Cochin. At Bhaktivedanta's trunks of Srimad Bhagavatam volume, which had been shipped from Bombay, were loaded on board. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The sticky note is not sticky anymore. Okay. You're putting it there, no? Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, Hiranyakashipu terrorized the universe, text 24. Okay, I will read the Sanskrit and translation. Teshana vira budvani arupamega nishvana sanadyanti kakuba sadunan abhyadyankari. Then there appeared before them a transcendental sound vibration emanating from the personality not visible to material eyes. The voice was as grave as the sound of a cloud, and it was very encouraging, driving away all fear. So I will read 25 and 26. Ma paishta vibhuta shreshta sarvesham badranastuva ma tarshanan hi bhutanam sarva shreyo papataye yatam etasya dauratmya daityesha pasadasya yat tasyat shantin karishyami kalantatva pratikshata. The voice of the Lord vibrated as follows. O best of learned persons, do not fear. I wish you all fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me and offering me prayers. For these are certainly meant to award benediction to all living entities. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu and shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sometimes people are very much eager to see God. In considering the word Mat Darshanam, seeing me, which is mentioned in this verse, one should note that in the Bhagavad Gita the Lord says, Bhaktyamana Vijanati. In other words, the ability to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead or to see Him or talk to Him depends on one's advancement in devotional service, which is called Bhakti. In Bhakti, there are 9 different activities: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyan, Sakyan, Atmanivedanam. Because all these devotional activities are absolute, there is no fundamental difference between worshipping the deity in the temple, seeing Him, chanting His glories. Indeed, all these are ways of seeing Him, for everything done in devotional service is a means of direct contact with the Lord. The vibration of the Lord's voice appears in the presence of all the devotees. And although the person vibrating the sound was unseen by them, they were meeting or seeing the Lord because they were offering prayers and because the vibration of the Lord was present. Contrary to the law of the material world, there is no difference between seeing the Lord, offering prayers, and hearing the transcendental vibration. Pure devotees, therefore, are fully satisfied by glorifying the Lord. Such glorification is called kirtan. Performing kirtan and hearing the vibration of the sound Hare Krishna is actually seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must realize this position, and then one will be able to understand the absolute nature of the Lord's activities. Teshanavida Budvani Arupa Mega Nishvana Sanadyanti Kakuba Sadunan Abhayan. Abhyankari. Хорошо. Then there appeared before them a transcendental sound vibration emanating from the personality not visible to materialize. The voice was grave as the sound of a cloud, and it was very encouraging, driving away all fear. The voice of the Lord vibrated as follows: O best of learned person, do not fear. I wish all good fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me and offering me prayers. For these are certainly meant to award benediction to all living entities. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu, and I shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-shalakaya Chakshura-militam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So, the Lord knows everything. As Prabhupada mentioned, the purport as well. And he knew everything about the activities of Hiranyakashipu. And he knew all the fears and struggles the devotees were going through due to the demoniac activities of Hiranyakashipu. But everything comes a due course of time. So here Krishna is encouraging devotees to be patient and do not fear. This is the message of the Lord to his devotees. Everything comes in due course of time. We often heard that Krishna's timing is perfect. In the age of Kali, one of the characteristics is that we want everything fast, everything straight away. But that's not how it works. And Krishna is emphasizing that sometimes we need to wait. We see often people come to Krishna consciousness and they are not completely satisfied because they are not experienced all the ecstasy after 3 months of practicing Krishna consciousness. And they wonder why I have been practicing Krishna consciousness for 3 months. I'm still not experiencing any of the transcendental symptoms mentioned in the scriptures. But the Lord always said, just be patient. On the other hand, we have people who come to Krishna consciousness and they think that they are experiencing all these symptoms very quick. I remember we have a lady that was coming to one of our temples. And then she was thinking that she was a gopi after a few months of coming to the temple. And one day she said, Prabhu, you know, I'm experiencing already all the transcendental symptoms mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion. And she said, oh, really? Which one? Perspiration. She said, especially after fire up kirtan, I always feel this symptom of perspiration. Because this is mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion, that perspiration is one of the transcendental symptoms when someone awoke his transcendental love for the Lord. But this is not something we should take cheaply, that because we are perspiring after nice kirtan, this is one of the symptoms mentioned there. This is just one of the symptoms that we have a material body and nothing more. And perspiration is one of the symptoms that we are feeling hot, that's all. So we always need to understand that everything takes time. Srila Prabhupada often gives the example that if you want to become a doctor, you need to go to school, you need to go to university, you need to go to medical college, and you need to practice for a long time before you are able to prescribe or to cure someone. you cannot give them same medicine for everyone. The same medicine is not there for everyone, like a panacea to all the sickness of the body. Like there was this person who went for one day to the doctor, to the veterinary, and he saw that one animal came with a big lump in his throat. So what the doctor did, he took the hammer and he banged the throat of the animal, and the animal was cured. So this person who was learning about medicine, who was just a helper, he thought, okay, now I know how to cure animals. So next time another animal came with some problems, he started banging them with the hammer, but it didn't work and he didn't know why. And then the doctor, he said that actually this animal that came was a donkey that had swallowed a watermelon. And then by smashing it, I was able to solve the problem. But you cannot do this for every problem. You cannot just hammer on someone just to cure all the diseases. We need knowledge, and we need to understand what is the right process to practice Krishna consciousness. It's neither too fast nor too slow. If we have been practicing for 100 years Krishna consciousness and we are not experiencing anything, and then this is also a sign that we are doing something wrong. We have seen that as well. I remember we have a guest that was coming to one of our temples, and he was very old, and he had been coming for ages, even before most of the devotees in that temple. And he was always very humble, and he loves to eat halava. He was always asking for more halava. And one day we start talking with him, and we realize he doesn't understand anything about the philosophy. He was just coming because he liked it, and he just liked it to eat halava. And that's all. That his knowledge was limited to that. His understanding was limited to very basic. So neither one is good. Neither too fast nor too slow. And here the Lord is telling the devotees what is the process to understand him. Because Prabhupada said that our movement is a scientist movement. That we put something in practice and we must get the result. If we do it properly, then we all get the result. So he's saying that if you want to practice, if you want to see me, because they could hear Krishna's voice, but they could not see him. And this is something that many religions, they aim, that the perfection of life is to see God. But we see these great devotees, they didn't see God. They could hear his voice and they could hear his instructions, but they didn't see him personally, face to face. But by practicing the process given by Krishna, and then there is no difference, Prabhupada said, there is no difference between seeing the Lord and practicing Krishna consciousness. It's the same. When we practice Krishna consciousness, we are seeing the Lord. Because he's not different from his name, he's not different from his service, he's not different from the scripture, he's not different from prasadam, he's not different from devotees. When we see devotees who also they remind us to Krishna, and this is one of the symptoms of the devotee that always remind us to Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that during Hiranyakashipu, his influence was everywhere. But he could not force his influence into the places where the personality of Godhead has his pastimes. So we see that demoniac influence nowadays is trying to deny the existence of God. But that influence cannot affect the devotees who are practicing seriously Krishna consciousness, and they cannot affect holy places like Prabhupada said here, Ayodhya, Vrindavan, because in those places devotees are seeing the Lord by practicing one of the 9 processes of devotional service. And especially when we serve Krishna in the form of the deity, we have this great opportunity of seeing him directly. The deity is not different from the Lord himself. So when we sing for the deity, we cook for the deity, we dress the deity, then there is no difference. We are seeing Krishna directly. And this is a special mercy. And by practicing this process, we can all obtain the same result after leaving this body, which is go back to Godhead. And there is something interesting that I read few days ago that I would like to read to you. This is about a lady, Mataji, who left her body. I don't know if she's Prabhupada disciple, but her husband is definitely Prabhupada disciple. And after she left her body, she sent a message from the other side. We don't normally hear, we only hear messages from this side. What people need to say about Krishna consciousness. But this is something really unique. She appeared in a dream to her husband. She said, I am with Krishna and I have a message for you, and I want that you spread this message to everyone. So we will read that message. Maybe I don't need glasses. This is actually this devotee. What's his name? Ameyatma Das. He was initiated in 1973 in America by Srila Prabhupada. And he made this as an offering of Vyasa Puja to Srila Prabhupada in last year, 2022. He said, it had been 46 long years since I saw you in person. He's talking to Srila Prabhupada, obviously. In 1976, you never made it back to Los Angeles in 1977. And I was not able to come to India to see you again. For 40 of those years, I had a friend, a partner, my wife, who also left his world this year. And in an auspicious way, she had a kidney disease, then congestive heart failure due to blood pressure. In the last month, she knew she will be leaving soon. In her last day, she hadn't slept for 36 hours. Then finally she fell asleep. After 18 hours, I tapped her on her shoulder, and she immediately woke up saying, Radha, Radha. I never heard her calling out to Radha like that before. She again said, Radha, Radha. Then she told me to start chanting. I put a recording of you, Srila Prabhupada, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and our son who was at home, both started chanting the Mahamantra. She asked for her Jagannath deity, and I placed him next to her. I put her fresh tilak and placed tulsi leaf in her mouth, and she left this world very peacefully, no struggle. She just stopped breathing, but Krishna was there in the form of the holy name, being chanted not just by her husband and son, but by you, Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee of Radha Krishna. That was the most suspicious in my view, was that when I awoke her, she called out for Radha Radha. I knew right then that she was already on her way home. And my waking up brought her back here, just long enough that she could depart in the most suspicious way. Then, a week after she left, she appeared in a dream where she gave me a message, and I asked to tell others. The message she wanted to tell is this. She was a simple devotee. She never held any position. She was not in charge of any project. Shri Kodanita Maya Pustachi ki jai, Shri Tulsinath Maharaj ki jai, Giridhari Lal ki jai, Shri Kadev Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is her message. She was not in charge of any project, yet she wanted not just me, but others to know that she had been taken back home, back to Godhead. What she wanted me to tell everyone is that the program you taught us, Srila Prabhupada, works. Excuse me. And we have to do it, follow the simple program that you have so kindly given to us. Just chant our 16 rounds daily, read your books, and render service to Krishna in the form of his deity, to render service to you, Srila Prabhupada, Krishna's pure devotee. We don't have to become a big, important devotee. We don't have to be in charge of this or that, or have followers, or be famous. If that becomes our service to you and Krishna, then fine. We carried out the same as cleaning the floor of the temple room or wash Krishna's pot. We just do whatever service you and Krishna give us in a humble and devotional mood. And that is the most important part, the devotional mood. Even if we are not able to render physical service, our mood must always be of devotion to Krishna. This was the message that she asked me to tell others, that your teaching work, Srila Prabhupada. All we have to do is follow you, what you have taught us, and regardless of whom we are, regardless if we have no important position, we'll be earning our ticket to go back to home, back to Godhead, where we can serve you and Radha Krishna directly. So I decided to make this message as my offering to you this year, to tell others that what my wife told me, that your teachings work, Srila Prabhupada. All we have to do is follow what you have given to us. There is no way we can thank you for what you have given us. The way out of this miserable samsara of this material world, from the lowest planet to the highest, is all a place of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. We are now bound up by birth and endless birth, death after death. We are bound up to this place of birth, death, old age, and disease. As you told us, Srila Prabhupada, this material world is not place for a gentleman. We must just do our business and get out. And you have to show us the path. You have given us the map. Your teaching and books shed the full brilliance of the thousand sun lighting up this path. And we have to follow you. Following that you have taught us, and our escape from the endless cycle of birth and death are guaranteed. Even for us, small, unimportant, common devotees who have not important social position, your teachings work for everyone. Thank you very much. Aspiring to become your worthy and humble servant, Ametyat Matas. Amazing, eh? Srila Prabhupada aquí. So that was a message from beyond this material world, message from Goloka Vrindavan. I know one Prabhu as well in Mayapur, friend from Slovenia. When we were there, his mother passed away. She was a very nice lady. She was a devotee as well. And that when she passed away, she had a dream, and she was very effulgent in the dream. And she said, "I'm in the spiritual world, and I need to tell you one thing. This is really amazing." And she was telling him, "Just we need to chant Hare Krishna. That's all we need to do." So Krishna is trying to dispel the fear from the devotees. And Prabhupada many times trying to dispel the fear from the devotees as well. As he said when he was leaving the body, he said, I taught you how to live, now I'm teaching you how to die. And he said that devotees, they should not fear. Because if we practice this Shravan and Kirtan process, our success is guaranteed. And like she's saying, you don't need to be very important devotee. Sometimes we have this mentality that in order to be big in Krishna consciousness, we need to be GBC, Guru VBT. But it doesn't really work like that. Even the most humble devotee who nobody noticed is noticed by Srila Prabhupada and is noticed by Krishna. And to keep this humble mood of devotional service is actually the most important element, not the material position we can acquire. If we have it, that's fine. If we use it only for the purpose of propagating Krishna consciousness. If not, to keep a humble position is the safest way. Just to serve Krishna in whichever capacity we have, serve the deities, serve the devotees. And in this way we can get the same result. We can also go to Goloka Vrindavan in this very lifetime. Before, by our practice, we couldn't go to Krishna if we were born in different ages. But in this age, there is a special promotion. Bhakti is on sale. And we have to just do something very simple. We need to chant, we need to practice. And that's the ticket. That's a ticket back to Godhead. And it's a very cheap ticket, but it's a very expensive at the same time. It's the most cherished destination that has been trying to be attained by so many yogis, rishis, and great personalities in the past, like these devotees. So this is the best destination we can get. And everything is possible by the mercy of Krishna and the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we just need to take advantage. And that's all we need to do. and everything is possible if we just continue chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, we'll finish here. Don't know if you said any question or comments.
The other day, there was one guest that came to the temple, Billy, and I was trying to explain the deities, I couldn't quite figure out to explain whether we see them directly as God, but we try to explain to someone new, so they would say, this is a representation, this is God himself. It's a little different.
Yeah, yes. Well, you can say that we invoke the presence of Krishna in the form of the deity by rituals and by a specific process we invoke, and we understand that God is everywhere, but when you invoke him, and he's especially present in that particular form. So this is like installation of the deity means that, and this is I think quite simple, but when we come to first time to Krishna consciousness, everything is very difficult to understand. Everything is very difficult. And what Srila Prabhupada was doing is that he never go beyond vegetarianism. If somebody eat meats, there is no point to explain anything. Like yesterday, I was talking with this Brazilian girl, and I was preaching to her because she asked me, "Why are you vegetarian?" I said, the important question is not why I'm vegetarian. The question is why you are not vegetarian. And she said, well, I have anemia and this and that. I have some excuses, she said. She said like that. That was very, very nice. She said, I have some excuses. And then I was preaching for her for a few minutes. And then I told her that, okay, think about it. Think about it. Because your decision is affecting others. What you are deciding, the choice you made is affecting others. It's giving suffering to someone who doesn't want to die, who got a family, etc., etc. And she was very reflective after that. I noticed she was like thinking about it. And hopefully she will become vegetarian. But Prabhupada never go beyond that point. Never. He never explain about the holy name or deities or anything to a new person who ate meat. Because when you eat meat, you are not able to understand anything. Basically, it's very difficult for somebody who eat meat. They are too gross to understand the different aspect of Krishna consciousness. But yeah, this is a tricky one. When they ask about the deity, it's a tricky question to reply. But normally I say like that is just we understand that God is everywhere. This even materialistic people understand God is everywhere, but He's especially present in the form of the deity. We have a discussion recently in our. I have a Shalagram group on Facebook. I think Jayanand is a member as well. Isn't it, Jayanand? And then there was a person who was saying that if you worship any deity which is not a Shalagram, and which is maybe fake, maybe make of glass or any just a simple stone, then because God is unlimited, he will accept service through this form. And we're saying that it's not like that, because it's not the same to worship a shalagram, which is a self-manifested form of the Lord, and worship piece of plastic, thinking that, okay, anyway, God is all power, he will manifest his potency in the piece of plastic, and it will be the same. This is like a Mayavadi philosophy. We understand that God is everywhere, but he's especially potent in a particular form, like in the form of the deity, in the form of a shalagram, and he's manifesting all his potency. On the others elements, plastic, glass, or whatever, he is also manifesting his potency, but it's just energy, just energy, Brahman energy. But he's not manifesting all his potencies in that form. So there should be this understanding. But in the beginning, it's very difficult because we are very sentimental about it. Oh, why you worship the deities? Why you don't just, instead of feeding the deities, why you don't feed the poor people who are begging on the street? God is also there. Yeah, God is also there, and we should also feed the one on the street. But he's especially present in the form of the deity. It's not, there is a difference between the beggar on the street and Krishna. So we can, this basic thing we can say, but in general, it's very difficult when somebody comes for the first time to understand. To understand anything, why we pay obeisances, why people jumping up and down, why we are chanting, why we wake up early. Everything is very difficult for them to understand. And we need to be really patient with new people, really, really patient, and they don't know anything about Krishna consciousness. So just first thing is always make them vegetarian. Without this, no point. So give them a lot of prasadam, everything. And then after that, they will themselves start to understand more and more, even without the devotees explaining, just by reading Prabhupada's books and participating on the programs. Yeah. Okay, we will finish here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Damodar Brother.